there, everyone. Zantok here with Select Star Gaming, and welcome back to another episode of Ghost Trick Phantom Detective. Alright, well, we're a dead guy, and we're trying to figure out what the heck happened to us, who we are, and what's all this other mystery stuff going on. So with that, let's see what happens next. Chapter 17, 2 more to go. The upended submarine continues to sink, slowly but surely. A long, long journey to the bottom of the sea. Lynn and the little lady found the darkness and the salt water closing in on them. But at the very last second, something saved them. Now looks down at them quietly. Man is filled with one giant question. What in the world is this thing? What the fuck? What the fuck? I mean, that's clearly the real Sissel, who can't go back to his body. So he's just like, fine, I'll make one of my own. And I guess now he wants to get revenge against the blue people because they betrayed him. And, you know, he's pissed. What kind of anime shit is this? Listen. I don't know. I've never played this game before. But I think we're reaching mecha territory. Actually, I am reminded of... What was that one called? Genlock. I'm reminded of Genlock a little bit. Well, I see you managed to survive, detective. But, hey, you're... Excuse my appearance. I seem to have lost my body. Oh, and you there. You're the ghost who's been saving Lynn all evening, aren't you? You knew about me all along? Of course. What else could explain all these unnatural things happening? If you knew, how come you didn't do anything about it all this time? And how come you decided to save us all of a sudden? I thought you wanted to get revenge on us. I don't really know. Oh, please, you gotta tell me. I need to know. Who in the world are you? Sissel, look at you. What happened? I can't hold on to that image of myself any longer. You can't remember who you are. We're gonna end up being just like some random rat or a pigeon or some shit. The best theory I've had so far is that we could be Camilla's mother, but that's only if what Ray told us about spirits appearing at dawn is bullshit. I can understand why he was able to hang on because he's got the meteorite pass. That's why he's able to live past dawn. But I'm also just sus of Ray. That's right. I came all this way tonight trying to chase down my lost memory. For quite a bit of tonight, I thought I was you, Sissel. Sissel? My name isn't Sissel. I bet you'll remember really soon who you are and who I am too. Wait, what? Wait, so are we actually Sissel and that guy's somebody else? The man in front of me is not me. I'm even further away from the truth. Or maybe not. Something is stirring in my mind. A memory about to emerge. Do I know this man? Now that I've shed my image of myself, I feel like I'm one step closer to the truth. They got us good. It's all over for this submarine. Its engine room is destroyed. There's a hole in the hull, and it's sinking as we speak. What are you doing here? I thought you had to deal with those people. They betrayed me. I was a fool to trust them. They already have what they wanted now. The Timsic fragment. I didn't know they had it all figured out. You mean they figured out the source of your powers? Yeah, that meteorite's radiation has two effects on living creatures. It gives power and time. If you don't mind, we'd like to hear more. These 10 years, I've been watching that junkyard superintendent do his research. And I think I've kind of got some of it figured out. The meteorite's radiation gives spirits special powers. Like possessing and manipulating objects. And in my case, swapping objects. Exactly. Apparently, there are individual differences in the powers we get. And it seems these powers change as time goes by. They do? Yeah. My powers have changed over these past 10 years. At first, I could only manipulate small living creatures. Now then, how do you suppose we got these powers? It's simple. It is? How then? Well, in a nutshell, we died while exposed to the energy emitted by the meteorite. It's radiation. What? That's what does it? Dying will be exposed to the radiation? On that day 10 years ago. A fragment of that meteorite pierced my heart, and I died. So of course, I received special powers. Hey, wait a minute. Is that how I got my powers too? You know, you might be right. That is convenient as fuck. Aren't the Timsic remnants drove right there in that park at the bottom of the crater? You're right. So that must mean I must have died in the presence of that meteorite's radiation too. But how? Another effect that the meteorite's radiation has on us is that it gives us time. Again, I think this time effect is centered on the theme of death, but it's not all that clear. So, the fact that I can return to 4 minutes before this person's death is another effect of that meteorite. That's one lucky dog, yeah. Very. Also us, because without that happening, we would not be here. One of the characteristics of that meteorite is its ability to replay the moment of death. Replay the moment of death? Oh, this is all so strange and confusing. I can't take it all in. It makes about as much sense to me as anything else. Yeah, strange and confusing. That just about sums up the object that pierced my body that day. Thanks to that meteorite fragment, my very existence is a contradiction. What do you mean? That day, when the fragment pierced my heart, I lost my life. However, because what remained inside of me, that fragment continued to constantly regenerate my body. In other words, my body was continuously cycling between the moments that separated my life and death. What? My body's vital function stopped 10 years ago, but my body's time is perpetually stopped at the moment just before death. So, time just stopped, huh? So I just simply existed, not really alive, and not really dead. That pretty much sums up these last 10 years for me, ever since that incident in the park. My body hasn't aged a day, my hair hasn't grown an inch. Come to think of it, that old pigeon guy did mention something. He said he couldn't cut this guy's body with a scalpel. So, I guess as soon as an incision was made, his body would be regenerated? Wow. Before I left this country, I wanted to do one thing. I wanted to get revenge on the people who stole our lives. Our lives? As part of the deal, I made those guys promise to cooperate. Cooperate? You mean the kidnapping? It all went fine. I manipulated the Justice Minister and made him issue the execution order. But I thought he might call up the execution at the last second. So that's why he wanted his daughter kidnapped. But they kidnapped the wrong girl. Little did I know, they had their own reasons for cooperating with me. Huh? Their objective was to wipe out everybody who had to do with Timsick. But why did they want to do that? Just so they could use the meteorite's power but nobody would know where it came from? Does that mean he's healed around the bullets in him? Probably. But I'm guessing it's just like, it's sealed over the wound, but so the bullet is probably still trapped inside. Detective Jowd was one such person, so they were happy to cooperate. Inspector Cabanella and that junkyard super, they were slated to be wiped out too. And as it turns out, I was one of their targets as well. So they stole my Timsick fragment, and here I am. But they had one more final target. You, detective. Me? If you weren't there in the park that day, 10 years ago, I never would have thought of doing something as stupid as taking a hostage. Okay. But how is a little kid playing in the park? Yeah, I know. Huh? 10 years later, and you've become a detective, looking into Jowd's case. Tonight, I invited you to a quiet spot on the edge of town. It was a trap, you see. I told you who I was. You never saw my face that day 10 years ago, so of course you didn't recognize me. I took possession of you to make you shoot me. Your subconscious resisted me. Such incredible power. It was the first time I wasn't able to control somebody completely. The aim was off, and the first shot missed the mark. The junkyard was equipped with security cameras. I knew you'd be wanted for murder. That was my plan anyway. But then another ghost showed up. But they had other ideas. They simply wanted you wiped out. But then, something threw a big monkey wrench into their scheme. So he was there the whole time when we started this out. I showed up. I was supposed to meet up with him after that. But then something went wrong. What happened? My body disappeared. Aha. The inspector in white was responsible for that one. My precious bargaining chip was in that body. I had to get it back, no matter what. That inspector caused me no end of trouble. But why were those people targeting me? I didn't even heard of the Timsik meteorite. Because you were looking into the Jowd case. They thought you would find out about Timsik sooner or later. And that's pretty much the whole story. The only thing left to do now is wait for water pressure to crest the submarine. Oh no. There's no cores that link from here to the water's surface. I have an idea. Will you get the phone line end? There are no communication cables down this deep. They meant for the submarine to be my coffin. A coffin for the dead. There's no escape. I think I kind of understand now. What you've been feeling these 10 years. You what? This feeling, cut off from the world, all alone in a submarine, sinking slowly toward the bottom of an endless sea? It's supposed to be how you felt all along. Lynn? Camilla? Is it true? We're stuck here? What? Oh, If my dad was here, I bet he'd save us. Oh, Camilla, I'm so sorry. Huh. That's funny. What is it, Sissel? There's something I don't understand. Why would they go to all the trouble of detaching the control room? What? Why didn't they just steal the Timsik fragment and escape if that's what they wanted? Why do they have to jettison your body off into the sea? Huh. That's a good question. But I guess it doesn't matter why now. We'll never find it again. We have no idea where it was launched to. Wait a minute. Yes, we do. Yeah, we do. This will tell us where Detective Jowd is. That present from the inspector in white. That's right. Detective Jowd told me to hold on to it for him. And the bullet is still in this person's body in the command room, right? Then we should be able to tell exactly where it is with this. Well, but I mean, even if we find out where it is, how do we get there? We should be able to figure something out. There's the three of us. With our powers, right, Miss Lynn? Right. Oh, and wait a minute. What about a torpedo? A torpedo? In any case, it's way too early to give up. Looks like Detective Jowd is our last hope. Come on, let's get started. Okay. Well then. Let's see what we can do here. Okay. Why is this machine shoving grapes at me? Well, this looks like the private cabin of the top officer, doesn't it? This machine is probably feeding him grapes while he lies in bed. Oh, it sounds heavenly! I've been thinking about this for a while now. Don't you think that country's use of technology is a little off? Says the guy who made a deal with said country. Anyway, it looks like the armor of this machine is a bit busted. Alright, that's missile. What if I operate again and I just get in the arm real... Oh, oh, now it'll let me do it. Okay. Get me up there. Oh, hey, look, a phone! The torpedo room. The torpedo room, huh? There must be another torpedo left there. I'll go check it out. Oh, I get it. You're gonna use the missile to ram the control room. Well, I don't know about RAM. We don't want to blow the Jout up, but something like that? We'll climb into the torpedo room, too. Up is definitely safer. Okay, I'll see you there then. Looks like the torpedoes can be launched manually with these switches. There's 2 tubes, so there should be 1 more left. Because the first thing we have to do is load it into the tube. When it comes to missiles, you can count on me. I'll load the coordinates of the command room into the torpedo. And just turn on the backup power. We ought to be able to use the switches now. Okay, let's try it. Good luck! What the? Oh no. Switch won't budge. Is it broken? I don't think the entire device is broken though. Probably work just fine if only I could move this switch. So I'd find a way to move it somehow. But I can't do it with my powers alone. Alright, Missile, here's the deal. Oh, nope, not that. No. Oh, I can't control Missile. Oh, damn it. Okay. Let's turn the valve then. Okay, that did Jack Diddley. Alright, Missile, in that case, let's chat. What happened to these 2 ladies? I think that's up to us and our powers. What? This is no time to be standing around and unsure of ourselves. Will you lend me your strength, Missile? Me? Of course I will. Count on it. There we go. Alright, Missile, swap the switches. If that works, it's stupid. Oh my god. There we go. That torpedo looks serviceable. I'll set on this end too. But something's odd. What is? The command room. It looks like it's slowly sinking. Sinking? Yeah, like it's completely running out of power. I wonder what happened. I don't know, but I guess I'll find out. Right, okay. Hop into the missile. I'll launch it for you. On it. I've already set the torpedo's course. It'll head towards the command room where Detective Jout is. 12 seconds after launching, it'll pass by the command room and for an instant. That instant will be your window of opportunity to jump over to the command room. Got it. Then we'll find a way to come back and save you. That'll probably be my last task tonight. So just hold on until we get back. Okay. Come on, Missile. Missile? I'm sorry. I can't go. What? I just can't. How could I leave? I can't leave Miss Lynn and Miss Camilla behind. I can't do it. Missile. I saw the switches so the missile can be launched. You have to do the rest, Sissel. I can't do it either. I can't ask Mister to come with me after that. I understand exactly how he feels. I want you to go, Missile. What? But, Miss Lynn! You staying here won't change our fate. But if you go with Sissel, you might be able to make something happen, and that's our only hope. But what if that something doesn't happen? I'll never be able to see you again. Never ever again. Even I can understand that. I couldn't stand that. Don't worry, Missile. Miss Camilla? I just know you and Sissy can make something happen. I believe in you. I'll be right here, waiting for you. We'll see each other then. Don't worry. Miss Camilla! That's a good boy, Missile. Now, are you ready? Remember, it's 12 seconds after I throw this switch. We're ready. Sissel? Yeah? We never found out who you really were, but that doesn't matter now. All I know is, I'm truly glad I met you tonight. Thank you for everything. And I'm glad I met you, Detective. But we're gonna see each other again, right, Sissy? Right, Missile? That's right. We promise, little lady. Of course we will. I'll never forget you, no matter what happens. Here goes, then. Good luck, friend. These 12 seconds are lasting an eternity. I've tried to think of a way to save Lynn and the little lady the whole time. But how can a ray of light of hope reach this far down to the deep sea? Before I can think of an answer, the 12 seconds are up. Zhao's dead. Detective Zhao! I bet that big masked man did this. I'm going to bite him. You'd better not. You might break your teeth. The command room has lost power and is sinking. So I wonder what this masked man is going to do. Let's talk to the Zhao! Stop raising your death flags. This whole game is about death flags, though. Both the raising of them, the fulfillment of them, and the throwing of them away. Alright. Let's see here. Aw, I can't reach. What would happen if I talked to him? What? I did the... Oh my god, am I going to be correct about how this game ends? I think I am. Sorry for the wait, Detective Zhao. Who are you? Are you... Sissel? Please excuse my appearance. I can't believe you made it here. How is Camilla? And what about Lynn? Well... it's kind of a long story. I told Detective Zhao about everything that happened on the submarine Yonoa. So the submarine is badly damaged. Why would he do that to his own submarine? I wish I knew, dude. I know the answer to that one. It's because he's afraid of my powers. You followed us? I didn't even notice. It's been 10 long years, Detective Zhao. Are you... Yomail? Yanni Yogi? So, you remember me, do you? How could I possibly forget? So that's your real name, huh? Yomiel? That's right. But those people in the Yonoa were calling you Sissel. That's just an alias I was using for my deal with them. I didn't see any need to tell them my real name. Could you do me a favor? Would you let me ask you some questions? I've been trying to find out my true identity all night, and sure, go ahead. I'm sure there's plenty we can still tell you. Right, Detective Zhao? Right. 10 years ago, you were a top systems engineer, weren't you? Systems engineer? What's that? By the way, I'm a top Pomeranian, you know? Well, it's kind of hard to explain to a dog, but it's a person who's good at using computers. I don't mean to brag, but I was one of the best in the industry. That's how I got roped into joining that project. Wait, project? What project? It was a project aimed at reorganizing the nation's top secret information. The goal was to build a new system using multi-dimensional programming theory. Fucking what? I was actually joined the project by an agent of the government. It doesn't sound like something a top Try that again. It doesn't sound like something a top Pomeranian would know anything about. To me, it just sounded like another challenging job. However, this project was also the target of a secret plot. I bet you can imagine the kind of crime the nation's top secrets might attract. I never thought for the life of me I'd ever have to deal with spies. It was never made public, but every organization in the country moved on this one. And then one day, the name of a certain programmer emerged as a suspect. I was the guy who built the core of the system. The police arrested you, and then that incident happened. He escaped from the interrogation room and took little Lynn as a hostage. By the way, Detective Jowd, when was it that I was proven innocent? About 6 months after your death. I'm so sorry, Yomiel. So, 10 years ago. My soul was split from my body, and I lost everything. I was sealed in eternal darkness. I existed in this world. No question about that. But nobody noticed my presence. What good were my powers? They didn't help anybody. Not even the passage of time could heal my pain. In fact, it only made it worse. I wanted to disappear, but I wasn't even allowed to do that. The way Lynn described it is exactly right. Sinking slowly to the bottom of an endless sea. An overwhelming feeling of loneliness and despair. I wanted all of you to suffer what I was suffering. And so that's why you murdered Alma. That's right. I wanted you to know what it was like to lose everything you cared about. I wanted you to feel the same pain I felt. What? It was the twisted wish of a mind poisoned by infinite loneliness. And then, as I was plotting my revenge, I had an idea. I came up with a plan to use these powers of mine to make a deal. There's something I just don't understand about that deal. I'm sure your powers would be very valuable to them, but what would you get out of the deal? A new life. I asked them for 2 conditions. Number 1 was they help me with my revenge plot. And the second was a rebirth for me. Rebirth. A new beginning, eh? I didn't care if it was a fake life, an artificial life. I just wanted a physical receptacle for my soul. A name, an identity, an everyday life. I wanted to grow old in a society that would accept me. And finally, I wanted to die, surrounded by a loving family. That's the kind of life I asked them for. A completely man-made life. That's right. I knew I could hold hope for anything more than that. To make it all come true, I knew it would take a lot of money and a lot of power. That's why I decided to ask the national government to help me. And their response in the end was betrayal. They were making their moves much more carefully than I suspected. They sent their spies to this country and researched my powers on their own. And they even figured out what Tim Sick was all about. And you had no idea they were doing all this. Not at all. I was a fool. So then, why did they go to all this trouble of making a deal with you? Why don't they just steal a hunk of the Timstick meteorite from the park? They couldn't. What do you mean? After the manipulator incidents, research was conducted in this country too. A report was submitted to the government, but the source of the manipulator's power. By Inspector Cabanella. Or no, by Inspector Cabanella and the old pigeon guy, huh? At first, the government didn't believe the report. But then, they decided to put the park under surveillance just in case. Surveillance, huh? Just looks like an ordinary peaceful park. But there are armed agents there at all times. Don't tell me that odd leaflet guy is one of them. No, not him. He's just a plain old, odd, fucking weirdo of a person. Thank God. That park is like a silent battlefield on an international scale. So that's why they couldn't steal the Timstick meteorite. And lately, under the pretense of building a housing site, they've been working on a plan to destroy that park in order to secure the Timstick meteorite. So that's it. So the upshot of your grand deal was this, huh? Yeah, it's the ending I deserve. But at least there's one thing you must be happy about. And what's that? You've managed to seal me away at the bottom of the sea forever. Well, shall we get started? Started with what? Bringing Detective Jowd back to life, of course. What good will that do now? But we promised. We promised Miss Lynn and Miss Cano would save them. And we can't do that without you, Detective Jowd. I've been guided by fate tonight to this place. I won't give up now. Alright, fine. Let's see where it leads us. Here we go then. Back to 4 minutes before your death. Or we could just jump into Dickhead's body and then go 10 years ago in the past. Because there's apparently no limit. Wait, no. There is a limit. They have to have not been dead for 24 hours, I think. So how's his body... Is he only officially dead now because they took a Timstick meteorite out of him? Which means a few things. Because we could stop them from leaving and blowing up the submarine. So, where are we headed? We're not headed anywhere, Detective. What? There's only enough fuel on board to launch us away, Detective. We'll run out soon, and that'll be our destination, Detective. What are you talking about? That would mean that you're trapped here too. Okay. Alright. By the way, I'm not human, Detective. I am what they call a robot. I am a remote-controlled robot, Detective. What? Your country's use of technology is just plain off. We get that a lot, Detective. Is anybody in your country a real person, or are you all robots? Why would you go to all the trouble to do this? There's nothing but a shell there. It's hardly a threat anymore. Commander Sith likes to provide against any possibility, no matter how small, Detective. Just head. Yep. Possibility. What are you talking about? There's no need for you to know, Detective. Oh! Now it is time to say goodbye, Detective. In the end, your fate remains the same, it seems, Detective. Camilla, forgive me. I don't... Okay, that might be a little bit hard for us to stop. Well, it isn't over yet. It isn't? Remember when that big masked man said, any possibility, no matter how small, possibility. In other words, there must be a chance here somewhere. The possibility of turning the situation around. I still think the solution is going to be going back and saving Sissel. He has a purple body for a fucking reason. Huh? What is it, detective? Look at Yomiel's shell. There's no aura emanating from his body. Of course there isn't. The Timstick fragment is gone. Could this change in his shell give us some kind of lead? Yeah it is. I figured it out. I know this possibility, no matter how small it is, that they're afraid of. What is it? My time was perpetually stopped thanks to the power of Timstick. His body cycled between the moments that separate his life and death, yeah. Right. But not anymore. The Timstick fragment has been taken away. Exactly. So what does that mean? I get it. Your body won't come back to life anymore. The moment the Timstick fragment was removed, my shell became a regular corpse. So let's see. That means we can go back to 4 minutes before your death. But which death is it going to be talking about here? The one in the park? Or the one in the submarine? But wait a minute. Like, when is that death? That's simple. We'll find out. When we get there, let's move. I fell back through the cracks of time for what seemed like forever, and then I saw it. The final death at the end of this long night. Who exactly am I? I've already seen all the clues. All I have to do now is remember. The final journey to the truth starts now. Alright, everybody. Well, I think we're going to go ahead and end things here for this episode. And we'll pick things up next time and continue our fun through this mystery. See you all then. Bye, everyone.